In this video today, we shall do a comparison of the evolutionary forms of two Godzillas from different shows. The first one is Shin Godzilla from 2016, a standalone movie which shows the big G in a different light. This version evolves throughout the entire length of the movie, but was cut short before his next transformation. The other Godzilla is the one from the 2021 Singular Point series, and this too shows similar evolutionary phases, and that is why we shall compare both of them side by side. So sit back, relax, subscribe, and let's get down with this sickness. Shin's first form. The initial form only reveals its tail briefly at the start of the movie. It is huge and, in terms of appearance, resembles the second form's tail, being yellow-hued and frayed at the end. Many water species are crushed by their own weight if they attempt to come ashore. Therefore, the original form, the first form of Shin Godzilla, lacked the physical and physiological prerequisites to sustain being on land. On the concept art, it was supposed to look like a tadpole with a very long tail and underdeveloped arms, which kinda look like frog legs with fins to help it swim. The tail is reddish yellowish in color, while its back is covered in tan dorsal fins. Form 1 of Godzilla Singular Point, Aquatilus. The first form that was seen in Godzilla Singular Point was what we all thought it was before. It was a Titanosaurus, but it wasn't. It was Godzilla Aquatilus, and it had crocodilian-like physiology and with a bit of a mix of mosasaur-like characteristics. It featured red violet scales and orange tail fins, as well as an orange stripes on its back and pale yellow ridged platings on its underside. It has huge dorsal spines that go all the way to the tail. The spines are jagged with vein-like features that bend and cone as they travel. The creature also has 4 large webbed flipper-like legs. Shin Godzilla's second form. Well, the second form resembles a moray eel or a frilled shark with a long body, a neck and a tail, as well as stubby underdeveloped hind legs for land mobility and stubs on the chest that appear to be underdeveloped arms. This form, unlike Godzilla's later forms, has a sickly yellow complexion, which also had red exposed muscles on its back and shark-like gills that frequently bleed, indicating that it was trying to breathe outside the ocean, but it was hard for it to do so. This design's dorsal plates, like the other body components, were underdeveloped. Too weak to stand up, it moves by wriggling on its belly, pushing itself forward with its stubby hind legs and also its stubby forelimbs, and thrashing its tails all over the place. Form 2 of Godzilla Singular Point, Amphibia. The second form came immediately after Aquatilus, and it evolved right after killing the Manders that were fleeing to land. Godzilla Amphibia looked a lot like a Varan, and a hybrid between Godzilla himself with a Varan. When it evolved, its tail possesses 3 barbs instead of a splayed fin like the previous form, and his hind legs are smaller than his forelegs. They have evolved though from the fins of Aquatilus. His head is very similar to Varan, and he retains a row of Godzilla-like dorsal fins from his Aquatilus form, although they are framed with a Varanesque spikes on the neck and tail. His back is covered in a knobby scaled carapace, with these scales also seen running through his limbs, and also his underbelly is smoothly textured. Shin Godzilla's third form. Godzilla's third iteration is remarkably similar to the previous incarnations. This form is bipedal with stronger, more developed hind limbs and the ability to take a stance similar to modern Godzilla. Its forelimbs are short and its neck is long in comparison to its body. Unlike his second form, which possesses a sickly yellow skin tone, the change in appearance of this form altered the skin tone as well, to a dark orangey red color, with exposed muscles changing from a red to glowing orange in color. Heat may also be observed radiating from his fins in this form, indicating that this transformation required a lot of energy and produced a lot of heat. Its gills have also shortened and closed, indicating that it has adapted to breathing on land. Despite being bipedal, its legs have not fully matured, causing them to wobble visibly as it tried to avoid falling while walking. Form number 3 of Godzilla Singular Point, Terrestris. The third form of the strange Godzilla shows a more terrestrial form that looks more like a dinosaur, including the hunched posture of the T-Rex and the long tail of a Carnotaur. Godzilla Terrestris resembles his ultimate form, but is thin and has a Gorosaurus-like trait. His skin is green with a yellow underbelly, and he has an extended face with a huge lower jaw and eyes situated quite near to the snout on his head. Godzilla terrestris roars are combined from the Heisei era and Millennium series Godzillas, but when he was struck with missiles, he released the Varan Gorosaurus Baragon roar. It was kind of a mix of these three kaiju, before turning into a normal Godzilla roar. This form also had very unique powers, including tentacles that kind of formed from his blood, while defending itself from the missiles and bombs that were shot at by the humans. And it could also form some sort of a pre-atomic breath kind of halo that would further evolve in the next form. Shin Godzilla's fourth form. While the final form of the movie of Shin Godzilla resembles other traditional forms in that it is fully bipedal and has a fully grown row of dorsal spines and is significantly taller than his previous underdeveloped forms. This form's skin tone is considerably darker black tone, with red glowing highlights around the exposed body parts such as his neck, back and legs. This form's jaw had multiple rows of jagged, gnarled teeth which protrude in and out from the skin around his mouth. Seemingly lidless eyes are also seen, and a jawline that extends widely to the sides of his head which can also break into two. Additionally, the eyes have a bryle, which is a protective lens in place of traditional eyelids that can protect its eyes from harm. And unlike most Godzillas before this one, this Godzilla's tail is very long and consistently hangs around and above his head. Inside his tail are giant human-like skulls. His tail also happens to be where he spawns multiple copies of his next evolutionary form, which were never pumped into action in the movie, since they were frozen before coming out. And lastly, form number 4 of Godzilla's singular point, which is Ultima. Well, the final form has yet to be released even in Japan. Well, we are all gonna see Godzilla's singular point in Netflix on the 24th of June, my birthday again. And so we will shortly see all of these forms all at once. Well, as we can see from the trailers, it has a deep charcoal hue, white dorsal plates with red vein-like patterns flowing through the veins. Singular point Godzilla, Ultima, has a more monstrous look. There are also a lot of jagged teeth in the design. In its neck and forearms, the creature contains several osteoderm-like structures similar to those found on crocodilians. This incarnation has a narrow tongue, many rows of teeth, and 3 tubes on the rear of its throat, which maybe it uses to shoot out the atomic breath. Rather than standing straight, it also has a more grounded-like posture like theropod dinosaurs from way back in the 65th millionth century. And with that, we come to the end of the video, so hit that like button for support and subscribe to be a part of the MindQ family. And one more thing, smash that bell button for regular updates on monster videos right here on MindQ. Till the next one, take care fam.